Greetings everyone and welcome back to SMOOREZ sickly death fuck. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, we can do this. Sweet seduction voice. Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another cheapo phone review, except this time I'm sick, and I sound like death. I sound like a train's hit me, and then while I was trying to get up from being hit by a train, another train has decided to hit me, and that's how I kind of sound and feel at the moment. Actually, I feel alright, I just sound like absolute shit, and I've been coughing like a demon, which I'll just splice in what I sound like. That's kind of what I sound like. My chest really hurts. And trust me, I don't have the evil flu, I just have a normal flu that I'm still getting over. But I decided to not release a midweek video because I just was very ill. However, I'm well enough to do a review today of the XGODY Mate10. So if you don't like hearing nasally, terrible sounding, deathly s'mores, you may want to skip this video, because I know a lot of people will probably have this on in the background and they might be going, oh god, listen to him, he sounds like death, what is he doing? Feel free to give this one a pass, or if you want to use the timestamps, feel free to jump along throughout this review, because the XGODY that I'm taking a look at, it's not really a full-on spectacular device, it's fairly basic, so there's not too much I can do with it, but regardless, if you need to skip along, that's completely fine, I understand 100%. Let me go over a listing that was on AliExpress for the XGODY Mate10. It's now out of stock, thankfully. I don't think you can buy this anymore. You can buy the XGODY Mate10 Plus, which is slightly better, but looks exactly the same. But anyways, this is the XGODY Mate10 3G smartphone, 5-inch Android 8.1 unlocked, 1GB RAM, 8GB ROM, mobile phone's original new cell phone, 5-megapixel camera, GPS Wi-Fi, and it's out of stock. But I imagine it would have sold for less than $100 Australian. So a very basic 3G device is exactly what this is. We have the main features, which says it's the XGODY Mate10 running Android 8.1 supposedly. The processor, however, is our favorite MT6580 fast quad-core 1.3 GHz processor. And do you want to know what's also really good? I myself am actually powered by the MediaTek MT6580 processor. Allow me to demonstrate. Proof that I'm powered by the MT6580. Yes, that is actually legit. I have MT6580 permanently carved into my skin. You're all welcome. That's probably next. 8GB of ROM, 1GB of RAM, a detachable 2500 mAh battery. We have just 2G and 3G and that's about it. 5-inch 480x960 display, 5-megapixel front camera and a 5-megapixel back camera, GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and a whole bunch of languages. Then the pictures in the listing are just very basic, like this that just says the 1GB RAM and 8GB ROM with a bunch of images that are of very low quality in the top corner there. Then we have unlocked Android phone. This phone is unlocked to 2G, 3G networking, and it looks really basic. It supports the latest Android system, which is Android 8.1. I'm not too sure when this phone actually came out. I'll have to try and find the date it was manufactured. This says that it's almost a brand new system. It has over 1,000 updates, including maracas, photosphere and gesture typing. What's amazing is the LURUS, an intelligent voice system which can search, just search by the way, SERCH, for the problem whatever you said, full stop, A. That makes sense. Also, cyborg android wearing a suit and tie and looking fantastic. 5 megapixels, amazing camera, make photos so remarkably. What happened to the K's in these? It's kind of like the font they used didn't have a proper K, so they kind of just stuffed around with an R and went problem solved. But it has a 5 megapixels front camera, LED flashlight, and 5 megapixels back camera. Both front and back do have LEDs, so that's helpful. Take it to travel around the world. Support 2G and 3G. Travel the world with an aeroplane and Eiffel Towers and hot air balloons and Statue of Liberty. Would you really want to take this overseas? Some countries still support 2G and 3G is still kind of going somewhere, so it might be helpful. This picture, I disagree with everything it says. Great performance, MTK 6580 quad-core 1.3 GHz that they've had to edit there. It is able to run most of the daily apps and games smoothly. No. No, it cannot. And that's all of the advertising and listing for the XGODY Mate10. Let me go ahead and show you this thing. You've already seen the box in the previous XGODY video, which I'll cut up here if you haven't seen it. I sound alive in that one. I don't sound alive in this video. It's the same XGODY linking people, the X with the carved out sort of bit there, an XGODY, and then we have the Mate 10, 5, 8.1, 3G, OnePlus 8, and some Chinese text there that probably tells me some stuff that's going on. The color is also blue, like the other one. Continuity is important. Then around the box, XGODY, 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 and around the back we have XGODY with the manufacturer and product site and all that sort of good stuff. That's where I got it from. I got this from Cash Converters. They had $49 on it. I walked in and they said, "We have a phone for you." They basically had someone come in with this that was desperate to get money, and they just paid them to get them out of the shop, priced it, and then was waiting for me to come in so then they could sell it to me. That is the entire story of how I ended up with this device from Cashies. Thank you, Cashies, for buying an XGODY for me. Alright, well, let's take a look at this thing. Which there's foam inside of here, a very thin piece of foam to protect your lovely XGODY device from getting damaged during shipping. But anywho, device itself we'll leave to the side. Taking the inserts out, do we have any accessories? I didn't actually check. We have a screen protector. We also have a case too, and a tempered glass screen protector. That's exciting. An XGODY user manual. Now that's impressive. Oh, it's only in English for like 3 pages and that's it. Thank you for choosing XGODY smartphone. The mission of XGODY is providing good products and service for those mavericks who appreciate technological innovation and seek different lifestyle around the world. Welcome, log in the official website of XGODY to find out more function of XGODY smartphone and purchase a wealth of related accessories. Notice, due to the continuous updating of smartphone functions, the user manual in your hand may be different from the actual operation. The user manual's not in my hand now. What are you going to do, XGODY? If the phone's batteries are removable, please be sure to remove the protective film of the battery with the following steps. If the phone's battery is non-removable, please ignore it. Look for the groove in the corner of the back case and buckle it open. Just buckle it open, alright, no worries. Does it come with a cable? It does come with a cable. That's a genuine XGODY cable, isn't it? No, it's not. There it is. The XGODY Mate 10 with fingerprints all over it. But at the top, we have the LED flash, the earpiece, as well as the front 5 megapixel camera, questionable. And then we have the 5-inch 480p display. Then we have capacitive buttons down the bottom there, all looking very basic, protected by glass. Then around the phone, we have the really nice blue colored back. I do kind of like this. If we go around, we've got a speaker grill. And on the other side, we've got a power button with a little groove in it. And then the volume rocker. Then at the top, we've got the micro USB port as well as the headphone jack. And then on the back, we have the dual rear cameras, which one's real and which one's fake, you can tell me. And we have the LED flash just there, as well as the lovely XGODY branding stuck right there. But the back is actually like a textured finish. It actually doesn't feel too bad at all. It's not just standard plastic. It kind of feels like a device that has like that rubber coating over it to make it feel a bit more premium. That's what this feels like. And then ripping the back cover off, which just, you know, comes off like that. Nothing inside of this to note, with a micro SIM card slot, nano SIM card slot, and the micro SD card slot. And then we also have a pull tab for the battery, which is kind of exciting. And that just comes out and there's your 2,500 milliamp hour battery. It does say right there, and I'd say that would probably be 2,500 milliamp hours. Please refer to manual before using battery. I've already done so. It is the model Mate 10, WCDMA, both IMEIs are listed there. Feel free to look these up and tell me where these are pinched from, but the manufacturing date actually says February of 2022. So this is newer than the XGODY S20 Plus that I recently just looked at. How does that make sense? Also, how does this make sense? 3D sound just right there on the speaker when there's only one speaker. So I've put my Telstra SIM and my micro SD card in, and now I can stick the battery back in, pop the back cover back on. And I'll let you know now, I tried to extract the system files from this. However, I couldn't. I got some APK files off it, but then it said permission denied, which gives me an indication that this is running a slightly updated version of Android. Maybe the advertised Android 8.1 is on this thing. Only one way to find out. Let me go ahead and power on the XGODY Mate 10. We'll start taking a look at what this device has to offer. Let's just say it's a very generic, basic device that we've purchased, going in with an open mind. Let's see how this goes. It can't be that bad. We'll test it out, throw some games on this. We'll be good. If it boots up. Should boot up. There you go. Don't know about you, but that was a very, very laggy boot logo. But it's okay, because we've booted up. And straight away, the display looks, I mean, it's 480p. I can't expect too much from it. It looks okay. The wallpaper's pretty low res, but everything else, I mean, it's okay, I guess. It'll do. We do have 3G at the top, so we don't have any fake 4G going on or anything like that. We have a Google widget, the time, music, gallery, Play Store, settings, phone, messaging, camera, Chrome. No, it's just browser with the Chrome logo slapped on. Calculator, calendar, camera, clock, contacts, face unlock, Facebook, file manager Go, FM radio, gallery, Gmail Go. Well, it doesn't say Gmail Go, but it has Go in the icon. Google Go, Maps Go, messaging, music, phone, Play Store, settings, SIM toolkit, and sound recorder. But that's it for the applications, which means this is basically stock for the most part, which is actually kind of nice to see on this. And if I swipe down, we get the shortcuts. I don't expect anything too advanced within this area, but it definitely does look more than Android 6 at this point in time. I'll also put the torch on real quickly. It barely works. It tries. No LEDs will ever come close to the DJ1000 phone. That thing was an absolute beast. Rest in peace, little guy. Don't worry, I have another one on the way. On the main screen, we have the wallpapers. Where have these been pinched off? I'm not too sure. Do they look familiar? Do they look like Huawei, possibly? Huawei, I think. I'm pretty sure these are Huawei. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong when it comes to these. I'll just put it to, you know what, this looks pretty good. I'll just set that. Set wallpaper. Home settings, add icon to home screen, can't do much there. Shortcuts, which is just the widgets. Is there anything that we can add that's really cool? Google Go, home screen tips, music, and that's about it. So let's jump straight into settings. Let's go to network and internet, switch on Wi-Fi. Do we have 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz? Probably just 2.4 if it's MT6580. Yep, 2.4. Standard Gboard as usual. Also, I've only just connected to Wi-Fi and I can feel the phone already starting to get warm right here. We're pushing the MT6580 to its limits already. Mobile network, 3G only, so it's not lying. I appreciate that. The XGODY S20 Plus, still have no idea about that. I haven't looked the IMEIs up to see if they're blacklisted. Probably should have done that. I also don't know why I'm searching for available networks when I know that it's 3G. Yeah, of course it's 3G. Let me give this a quick call then and see what the default ringtone is. Flirty phone.
Testing the earpiece quality for the XGODY Mate10. This is what it sounds like on 3G. It's not the best, of course. It's not the loudest, but it'll do for the most part. And the microphone quality on the XGODY Mate10 sounds a little something like this. It's not too loud, it's pretty quiet. I'll have to bump it up during editing just so you can hear it, but it's nothing special, so let's move on.
For 3G quality, it'll do. It's nothing special. The earpiece isn't too loud, the microphone's not that clear, it's a bit quiet. Connected devices just has Bluetooth and all that sort of stuff in it, don't need to do much there. Apps and notifications though, we can come to all of the applications that are installed on this. So show system. We do have the Android Easter egg as Oreo, which is kind of surprising. But let me just scroll through this real quickly to see if there's anything that I might want to look up later on with QuickShortcutMaker. To see if I can maybe change the specs. Maybe this is a legit XGODY device that doesn't have anything dodgy on it. Dark. That's just dark theme, I believe. I mean, you never know. You never know. There could be something here that allows you to switch the specs to something better. I don't know. We'll see. This could be the genuine XGODY that we've looked for. Actually, the XGODY that I looked at, the ones they actually sent to me, that was actually not too bad. Storage manager's there. And system info is there too. Okay, we have some things to open. Yeah, the other XGODY that they actually sent me was all genuine. They didn't lie about the specs, except for the decorative cameras, but they even admitted that. As I said, XGODY's just slightly one step above Welcome. Welcome lies about absolutely everything. XGODY just takes a Welcome device, brands it as their own, removes some of the stuff that makes a Welcome device as it is, and calls it a day. Battery, we have 2 hours and 13 minutes left, which is about how long I'll be filming for. Let's see by the end of this review what the battery level is going to be at. So right now, 89%. I'll show the percentage so you can keep an eye out. So just keep an eye on that, alright? Display, don't have too much going on here. You can have Rave Party for the back LED and for the front LED if you wanted to. Sounds, do we have any enhancements? Yes, we do. Best loudness. Only best loudness. That's sad. Storage, only 8 gigabytes for the internal storage, which is all correct. Security and location. Security updates March 5th, 2021, so that's not too bad. Screen lock though, it's just pattern, pin and password. Oh, because face unlock's next. Okay, face unlock's here. So let's enroll my face. I'll just do L as the pattern because that's an easy pattern to remember. And let's enroll my face, my deathly face. My face that looks very dead from all the coughing and stuff that I've been doing. I'm good, I'm fine. See, look. There you go. Did you see that? That's a good face. So some random server in the middle of China's got that picture of my face. Okay, well, let me just see if that works. I'm just going to do that again just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. Okay, now I'm going to look at the phone with a normal face. Okay, it still works. Doesn't matter if you pull a silly face or not, it'll still work. Oh geez, look at the performance. When your phone lags when you open your apps list, that's when you know something's wrong. Users and accounts, I'll go ahead and add a Gmail account onto this. My Gmail has been added successfully. Accessibility, does that have anything interesting within here? Gesture recognition, any navigation stuff? Can I do gestures? No, nothing like that. Alright, moving on. Google, services and preferences, don't need to do much there. System finally. Language is an input, can't do any gestures within there. Develop options I've put on because I tried to dump the system files. I will put the window animation down to 0.5. Actually, they're already off. I'll just put the animations down to 0.5 then. There we go. It kind of feels faster. About phone, Mate 10. Wireless update. Let's see if we get an update. If an XGODY device gets an update, should I be surprised or worried? Oh, it's up to date anyways. If you've ever had a security patch on an XGODY device, please let me know down in the comments. That'd be interesting to hear. 1GB RAM, 8GB ROM, Android version 8.1.0. Let's see if we do get our buddy. Whoop. Did I break it? Oh, I didn't break it. There's Oreo. There he is. There's our friend. How laggy are you? Oh, yeah, that's good. Look at that input lag. Amazing. Security patch level is November 2021. Do have the baseband version, kernel version, and the build number. Don't see anything of significance there. Then if we go to status, the serial number is 01234567898ABCDF as per usual. And the IMEI information once again is there. Feel free to look them up and tell me where these have been pinched from. If they correspond with the next XGODY, that'd be surprising. Let's open the browser first. Let's see if it actually is Chrome or just standard browser. It's the standard browser. Why not put Chrome on this if it's Android 8.1? Doesn't it come with Chrome by default anyways? I'll just allow everything. XGODY's website is not default. Wait, it's loading. There we go. Perfect. I wouldn't expect to use this as a daily driver. If you got this just to probably text people, that's probably about as good as this thing's going to get. Let's just go onto their website for the Mate 10 Plus, which is kind of the same phone, and it's 63 to 67 US dollars, so about $100 Australian roughly you'd be paying to get something like this. But the Mate 10 Plus is basically this phone with a 5.5 inch display. It has the same specs, 1GB RAM, 8GB ROM, 3G, Android 8.1, and it's just the same thing. Except the Mate 10 Plus has a 5.45 inch 16:9 water drop screen, and it's 2.5D arced with real Android 8.1 system. There you go. Global unlocked 3G, of course it is. And what happened? I'm sure that was normal. For an MT6580 with 1GB of RAM, this is exactly how I'd imagine it to run. Pretty laggy, and I think just for normal social media stuff, you'd probably start to struggle. It's also struggling to even just run one application, just the browser. Actually, come to think of it, have I actually ever looked at a device on this channel with an MT6580 running more than Android 6? I don't think I ever have. I think this is the first. Feel free to tell me in the comments if that's correct or not, because I've looked at so many Welcome devices, I'm not keeping track. The calculator looks like the standard Android calculator. It's always rad. I love it being rad. Oh, it's not rad anymore. It's disappeared. Never mind. Calendar. Allow. I can't believe it's almost Christmas. It's just insane. Also, a weird thing with navigation. Usually you'd hold the recents key to open up the background applications to close, but no, for some reason you hold the home button to do that. It works, so I shouldn't complain. But I can complain at the next piece, the camera. Actually, I shouldn't complain because this is meant to just be a basic device. It's meant to be nothing spectacular, although you can see this picture of me that's down there, which is very creepy looking. It has autofocus. It does not have autofocus. It doesn't have manual focus either. It's just an overlay of it pretending to focus when it doesn't focus. We have face viewing mode, we have panorama, we have the LED flash, we have HDR, which does not work. It actually crashes the phone for the most part. When I actually had HDR on and I was out in the backyard trying to take photos, I would press the shutter button and it would say that the camera's being used by another application and something or other, and it just wouldn't work. And if I do it now, it works perfectly fine. Of course it does. I've already done the camera test, and what I just said before with the issues trying to take photos and the camera crashing, you'll see that within the camera test because the photos have slight glitches in them. It's because this thing just couldn't quite handle what it was meant to be doing. That's okay. In settings, it has 5 megapixels for the picture size, and the video size says 720p. And the XGODY S20 Plus, which is a much better phone than this, had 480p video. So if this does 720p video, that wouldn't make a lot of sense, but okay. EIS is also on, and switching to the front camera, it's the same thing, face beauty mode, LED flash, HDR, which doesn't really work at all, and the same thing, 5 megapixels, and the camera quality is just set to high with EIS on. So now I'll show you the photos and videos that I took with our XGODY Mate10 that you see right in front of you. But just a word of warning that because this thing doesn't have autofocus, a lot of the photos do turn out blurry, and there's glitches going along the bottom and stuff. But at least you get to see photos with the front camera and the LED flash. It'll be exciting. We'll be back in a moment. Alright, here's the rear quality for the XGODY Mate10. The camera test was absolutely horrible. It kept on crashing every time I wanted to take a photo. I'm sure I'll mention that somewhere in the review, but we don't have autofocus, don't have manual focus. It's just very standard and fixed. But it says 720p, as well as EIS, but I don't think EIS is working at all. I mean, you can tell in the XGODY S20 Plus, this one, no. I mean, it looks clear from what I can see. It looks okay. She's always so sad that I have to go outside and she has to stay inside. She's an inside cat and I can't let her outside because I'm near a main road, and if she went wandering and, you know, I can't. At least she gets to look outside and stuff, but I know, I'm sorry. Do you like the XGODY Mate10 though? I'd say that's a definite no, but okay. It'd be hilarious if this is actually 720p, yet the S20 Plus, the better one, 640p. That would make sense. Magpie gardening needs doing, and that thing, which I will name someday, one day. Lemon tree with the flowers that are all closed up now, because that's how flowers work. The vanilla sky, look at that. Beautiful. And zooming in with 4x digital zoom, there you go, that's the faraway icon. Wow, that was an experience and a half. Okay, let's move on to nighttime and see how it performs. Okay, and this is the XGODY Mate10 at nighttime with the LED flash on. It works. Not really well, but it works. I guess that's a good thing. If I try and point at anything else, you can't see anything. It's definitely far from the worst, but it's definitely also far from the brightest, but it'll do. Okay, this is the front camera quality of the XGODY Mate10. This is with EIS on, and does it look good? I mean, the flash is on, which is not helping because it's obviously still daytime. God, I sound so terrible, I'm so sorry. I mean, it works. At least we don't have jelly movement. I guess. But it warps everything. That looks good. Hey, for a cheapo device, if that is EIS, is that what they call EIS? I'll agree with it and I'll take it, alright? I have been living at this place for 5.5 years or so, and I've done many camera tests out in this yard. I did not know, never knew, that there was a nail bolted right into my brick wall where I can hang a phone and do these tests. I don't even have to do anything, I can just have it still, and you can see this properly. Didn't even know. It's there. Except, small problem though. If I do this and it falls, concrete's right there. So maybe for the cheap devices it might be alright, but the more expensive ones, we'll just hold them. Good. Wow, this is creepy. Holy shit. This is nighttime with the front camera with the LED flash on. You can't see anything. It's just a floating head. Oh, look how spooky this is. This is good for like a documentary, like Blair Witch style sort of thing. Like, oh, help me, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can't see anything. Oh no, holy shit. You know? I mean, it works. It works for that, but pretty much useless otherwise. I mean, it helps when you take photos in the dark, but would you really want to do this? Look, I'm like 2 feet away from the camera. I can't see anything except my shirt. That's helpful. That's not creepy at all, is it? No, it's not creepy. So we have 480p video for the front camera. We have 720p video for the back camera. We also have 5 megapixels for the rear camera and 5 megapixels for the front camera, which is actually kind of surprising, but we'll have to check to see if they do interpolate or not. The quality doesn't seem too bad for the rear camera. The front camera is fairly average, but apart from the glitches, it's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse from other Wacom devices and stuff. This at least doesn't look too bad. They're tolerable photos, and the video quality as well has this sort of grain to it. It looks kind of cool. I'll admit, with that grain going on there, you could probably pull off some really good 90s looking documentary footage sort of thing. This XGODY does have a purpose in this world. That's positive, I guess. Cameras aren't anything too impressive by any means, but for a cheapo device at least it works. Moving on though, clock looks like a clock. Nothing too spectacular. Why is the phone getting really hot? That's okay. Contacts, face unlock looks like the same face unlock that we've already seen before. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Gotta close all the background apps. Don't want to make this thing slow down. Facebook. Don't need to go into file manager. Default file manager there. Don't need to do much. FM radio. Well, we need headphones. These are the headphones that I test. They're cheapo Beats knockoff things that just, I don't know, they exist. But let's test the FM radio out. There we go. Lo-fi techno. It's pretty cool. What's on Australian radio on a Saturday night at almost midnight? You know what? The speaker doesn't sound too bad, to be honest. That song's a meme to me. Look, it has a 3.5mm headphone jack. It has an FM radio. That's not too bad. But let's move on. Gallery, well, we don't really need to go into. Gmail, we don't need to go into. Google Go will just be Google Go. That's setting up, and it's essentially just searching for stuff on the web. There you go. Why not use this instead of the actual browser itself? I don't know. Wait, Reddit's here. Let me just open up Reddit to see how laggy it would be. Oh, it's not too bad. Well, I mean, it hasn't loaded yet. Just wait for it. This page looks better in the app. I bet it does, because you probably wouldn't want to use this phone to scroll the never-ending world that is Reddit. It's good. No worries. It's never going to open. That's fine. We'll just leave that. Continuing on, we have Maps Go. Don't need to test that. Messaging. Music, though. I do need to test that because we've got BFG Division up next. Why is headphones still plugged in? I don't have headphones plugged in? Okay. Let's restart. Still thinks I've got headphones plugged in. Alright. Now we should be good. It's not that loud. It only got to about 93 point something. It's not a very loud speaker by any means. That's the absolute highest it can go, but it doesn't sound distorted or anything. It's kind of just about right. I mean, it's definitely not the best, of course, but it's not bad for a cheapo device. I shouldn't be too harsh on this. Considering that I only paid $25 for this thing from Cashies, I shouldn't be expecting too much. Phone we can skip over, Play Store we'll come back to, settings sim toolkit we don't have to go into, sound recorder though, what does that look like? The usual VU meter. Alright, let's go into the Play Store then, because I will get YouTube from this, so we can do the YouTube test properly. Okay, YouTube's installed. Let's do the Costa Rica at 4K video test on this. You are missing a lot. TikTok, love, fun and creativity is here. I bet it is. Okay, it's probably set at 240p. That's alright, we'll start at the start. 720p at 60 FPS. Go on, show me the damage. It looks nice. Safe to say it, I mean, a still frame looks nice, but video-wise, I'm pushing it to its limits. It's getting extremely hot at the back there. It kind of has some dips here and there. Kind of looks okay for a second, then goes back to being laggy, and 480p YouTube you can get away with. 720p on this thing? No, it's just not going to happen. We're at the point now where I've tested everything that's on this device by default. There's really nothing that's too exciting on this. So let me go ahead and see if I can get San Andreas installed onto this, because that'd be really interesting to test. And if that fails, I'll try something else, but give me a moment and we'll see what we can do. I've installed a bunch of applications and this thing is struggling. It's not too hot to touch, but it's pretty warm. I've installed device info hardware, QuickShortcutMaker, Geekbench 5, GTA San Andreas, and CPU system info. I'm going to open Geekbench 5. I wanted to see what the scores are. I don't think I've actually ran Geekbench 5 on an MT6580. Alright, go on. This is going to take forever. Here's some life support, buddy. I don't imagine this will be done anytime soon. It's 12 o'clock right now, so it's just hit midnight. I'm just going to place this down, not going to touch it. I'm going to go play some Clone Hero while this does its thing. We'll be right back. It took 27 minutes to finally get a score of 65 for the single core score and 125 for the multi-core. I'll display other results from previous devices. Is that the lowest? I think possibly, but as I said, I think this is the first time I've ever ran Geekbench 5 on an MT6580. That's not really anything spectacular. I wasn't expecting it to be anyways. It opened in the browser for some reason. It didn't actually open within Geekbench itself. It opened in the browser. I've got no idea why it didn't actually show it. Oh, there we go. Not sure what happened, but there you go, that happened. And I know I said also that just watch the battery percentage die. If I didn't have that on charge, it probably would have died by running that benchmark, most likely. But I'll just take this out and see what it's at. 59%, not too bad. We've done Geekbench, so now let's move on to gaming. Oh boy. Let's see how San Andreas rolls on this. I'm gonna just put everything to maximum, alright? I know it's gonna lag, but that's okay. We're just going for the fun of it, alright? San Andreas on an MT6580. Has this ever been done? I don't think it has. Go on, buddy, with your Mali 400MP GPU. Do your best. Do your worst, actually. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's get on the bike, Carl. Okay. Well, it works. Oh, can I do a mad jump here? No, because that's the wrong way. Narrowly missed that. Oh, just got bumped by a taxi randomly. Okay, let's be fair to this thing then. Let's put it down to its default settings, okay? Which, that's the default settings. I will bump the visual effects down to medium though. And now let's see what it looks like. Is it playable? Hey, there you go. That's good. The MT6580 is capable of gaming. So the advertisement didn't lie then? You can? Oh, what a sick jump though. Let's get in a car and go high speed and see what it looks like. It's multi-touch, it just doesn't feel like it's multi-touch. It basically looks kind of like the PS2 version in widescreen. That's basically what this looks like right now, to me anyways, and just slightly clearer. But at least it runs, and it runs well at just slightly adjusted settings. But hey, San Andreas on an MT6580. Not too bad. Just don't bump it up all the way, and you'll be fine, for the most part. It even has haptic feedback. Oh, my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. That's it for the gaming test. Oh boy, I pushed the thing to its limits. It's just hot there. Oh boy. It's okay, buddy. You did well. I'm surprised it was actually able to run San Andreas. That just shouldn't happen with things called XGODY MT6580 and Welcome, which I feel that Welcome's going to be hidden in here somewhere. Let me double check the specs real quickly, just to make sure we know what we're dealing with. I'm fairly sure we know what we're dealing with. 720p display? That's not correct. If that's a 720p display on this, I will be surprised because it definitely doesn't look 720p. System on chip 6580, Mali 400MP GPU, as we've already gathered. XGODY Mate10 running 8.1 Oreo. 720p display at 54.4 Hz. Alright, let me do the multi-touch. I reckon it's going to be 5. No, 2-point multi-touch. That's probably why it wasn't really working in GTA. That makes sense. 1 gig of RAM and 8 gigs of internal storage. The cameras appear to be 5 megapixel and 5 megapixel. We have an accelerometer and a proximity sensor, but that's it. There's no light sensors. And then finally going into the next application, let's see if it says 720p. XGODY Mate10, Mate10 MT6580 8.1, system on chip 6580, 8 gigabytes of internal storage, 1 gigabyte of RAM. It's 720p on this thing. Why did it say 480p in the description and it's actually 720p that they've thrown on this thing? The capacity of the battery, according to CPU system info, is 3,636,363 milliamp hours. That's pretty good. Thermal's 25 degrees. I don't believe that. Sensors, accelerometer, and proximity. The proximity actually is just generic. Cameras, 5 megapixel, that's all correct there. Let me just take a look at the display again. Surely it can't be 720p. If it actually is 720p, it's a pretty low quality 720p display. I mean, for a phone that costs less than $60 US, you'd expect it to have a 480p display, but having a 720p display, I think, is an absolute bonus. But now let's have our fun with QuickShortcutMaker. Secret codes won't work because it's running a newer version of Android, so it wouldn't work. But within QuickShortcutMaker, we can do some fun things. So we have Android 7 Easter egg is actually, isn't it where you add it up to the top here somewhere? Because it says Nico. Nico is Android 7. Auto dialer is probably the same thing that was on the previous XGODY. That's correct. Device info by Kingston Time. Did we see this beforehand? Oh, yep, okay. This is the device info, and sure enough, it says within this application that we do have a 720p display on this. So if this had 4G, not an MT6580, it would probably actually be a decent enough budget device with a half decent display. It's not half bad. We've seen a lot worse. Factory test is all of the testing stuff. That's correct. We don't need to do much within there. Where's the switch info one? Storage manager. Choose items to remove. Oh, that's just a built-in app. But switch apps here. Oh boy, XGODY to the rescue again. They've decided to include the good old switch menu. Alright, do we have... There you go, folks. There it is. XGODY and Welcome. I can now completely tie the two brands together. I think people in the past have said, no, XGODY's their own separate thing. No, they have their own motherboards and stuff. No, they do not. They have Welcome stuff. It's just all shitty Welcome devices they rebrand as their own. So, Welcome, let's bump the ROM up to 1 terabyte. Okay, let's put the RAM to 16 gigabytes. The camera, let's put it to 5,000 watts. The back camera, 5,000 watts. The CPU, oh, I was having fun until that happened. Damn it. Surely there's another application within here to change that to something else. Manually change the model. Input your model. I don't know. I just chose Edgelord 420 because I'm sick and my brain's not working correctly. Well, that's fun. We changed that. Let me just quickly see if there's anything else we can do within QuickShortcutMaker, and it seems like... Oh, system info. Let me just quickly see what this is. Oh, here we go. Can we change? No, but at least it confirms that we do have 8.1 and we do have the MT6580. Have I actually changed the settings without having to reboot it? So there we go, we have 16 gigs of RAM. It's the XGODY Edgelord 420 with 1 terabytes of storage, looking legit. Okay, so let's just say you see this at Cash Converters for 49 bucks. You say, would you take 40 bucks for it? They say, yep, take it. You've got a $40 device in front of you. You have 3G, you have an MT6580, but you are running Android 8.1, which kind of makes it a lot more laggier on 8.1 than it would be on a sort of earlier version of Android with the MT6580. You do have a 720p display. It's not that good, but you've got 720p, you've got 5 megapixel camera on the back and 5 megapixel on the front, which don't do too bad. Battery life is pretty terrible though. Once again, 3G is just not that good. 3G is going to be on its way out very soon. I say very soon, I think it's like a year and a half we've still got left. In other words, is it worth buying it for 40 bucks? Probably not. For the $25 that I paid for it, I think it could possibly potentially be good. It's still basically a welcome at the end of the day with low-end specs, but it has a few nifty little things like the 720p display and the slightly higher version of Android I can appreciate for this. But other than that, it is just a standard generic bare bones phone at the end of the day. If it did have 4G and maybe a better processor, I could praise it a little bit more, but as it is, very, very cheap. If you did find it for 25 bucks, it would do for phone calls and messaging and a couple of apps to download from the Play Store, but that's about it. So, with that being said, that was a very long rambly conclusion. Blame me being sick for rambling more than usual. If I now reboot this, let's see what the boot animation has turned into. Of course. Of course. Where'd the boot audio go? Oh. I was going to say, where'd it go? And then it kicks in. Well, I've reverted the XGODY back to a welcome device. There was no option to change the 3G to fake 5G either. Yeah, that's everything that I wanted to have a look at on this fairly generic XGODY device. But let's tear it down and have a better look at the guts of this thing. I'll also say the speaker wasn't too bad in this. I mean, it's pretty quiet, but it didn't sound horrible like tin can wise. I'm just glad it was running Android 8.1, even though it is outdated by, you know, today's standards. On a welcome device, Android 8.1 is very hard to come by. The first ever welcome device, well, it wasn't actually welcome, it was the Beyond Note 10 clone that I looked at many years ago. That actually had Android 9 on it. I think that's the highest version of Android I've ever got on a generic device. Generic as in no name, no brands. With all the screws removed, I can just take this whole thing apart and we have access to the internals. Nothing on the back plastic, all just plain, but we have the speaker down the bottom, the microphone, the tiny little board there for the signal strength. Is there any contacts on there? Oh, there's contacts there, okay. But that's just a long antenna cable that runs there. 2022, the manufacturing date is on the board there. All the stuff that's just soldered directly to the main board. So, the 5 megapixel camera looks a little something like this. What does the code say? YS9188T, 90 to 200 watts. So could that potentially mean that this is a 2 megapixel camera that interpolates up to 5 megapixels? I wonder. The photos didn't turn out too bad. If it's 2 megapixels, then it kind of explains it. The LED flash is also just soldered directly there. It just snakes down, just hanging there. Oh, the dud cameras are just second nature to me now. But if I just pop... Ow, I just stabbed myself. I just popped out the little LED doohickey sticker that they've put in there. I wonder if that actually helps brightness now. Might help. There's the dud camera there. Can we just pop him out? Can we have a look at him? No, he's stuck in there pretty good. We'll just put that back there. Looks like a traffic light, by the way. There's also an unused connector there, probably for a fingerprint sensor, most likely. The vibration motor is also at the top of the phone. Kind of a little bit unique. The touch assembly just sort of comes out like so. With the power buttons taken off from the side, I can finally just lift it all back, and there is the clusterfuck of a board. The frame also is just cut out to accommodate this motherboard, and the screen's just sort of resting there. We do have a sticker there which says 1 GB 8 plus B1, B2, B5, version 1.3 something or other. There's the front LED flash, the front camera, which also has 200 watts written on it. I'll show you that code a little close up. There you go. Can you see that code? That's what that says. Potentially, it's 2 megapixels on the front and 2 megapixels on the back that interpolates up to 5 megapixels. I'll let you folks in the comments decide if that's correct or not. I'll put it in the spec list as 2 megapixels, but interpolating up to 5, because I just think that's possibly what could be going on. Should I take the shielding off to show you the MT6580? I may as well. It wouldn't be a complete video unless I did that. Plus, this device was made in 2022. Let's have a look and see what a 2022 MT6580 looks like. That actually wasn't too bad to pop off. I may have pulled off a bit of the motherboard, but that's okay. He'll live, I think. There is our Samsung module just there. I'll Google that to see if it's the 1 gig plus 8 gig. It should be. There's the repurposed MT6580 from 10 years ago, stuck in there like so. I think it came out in like 2014 or so. And look at the chunk of top of the motherboard that I took off. But that's okay. It should still work. Didn't damage the tracing. I was very close to it though. There's also a power IC right there as well. Don't need to really Google that. The earpiece at the top there, just contacts just randomly hanging off there. I didn't see the code on the display there. I'll try and Google that and see if that comes up with anything. That's pretty much it with the XGODY Edgelord 420. Let me go ahead and just stick this back together and make sure it works, and then we can call this one a video, I think. Oh, I see why they put the little thing there to not see the direct LED, but hey, it might have made things better. Let me just quickly see if this thing works. I don't think I would have killed it. Let's see. There you go. While it boots up, I'll display all the specs to the side. Feel free to pause the video if you need to, but this is the complete specifications of the XGODY Mate10 that I named the Edgelord 420 for some particular reason. It all still works. I'll just make sure the touchscreen works, and that's gonna basically do it for this one. It's interesting, but it's not interesting at the same time. I killed the touchscreen, didn't I? I probably did, yeah. That's okay. I didn't plug the thing in properly. Let me plug it in properly. Sorry, I didn't put the connector down. Should work now. There you go, I didn't kill the touchscreen. It's fine, it still works. Funny that they included the Switch application on this still, even though it's fairly stock for the most part. You'd think that they would have removed that sort of thing off this, but I guess XGODY can't do absolutely everything to make their phones completely their own. But otherwise, I can just slap the battery out of it, put it to the side, and I'll just use the battery to just kind of do that. There we go. This I'll just put in the box with the rest of it. That can also join it too. That can also join it too. There we go. That is everything that I wanted to have a look at on the XGODY Mate10. Cashy's just had it for me, and you know, I thought, why not grab it and take a look at it? I didn't even think this phone would be manufactured in 2022. I thought it was at least a couple of years old, but no, it's new. So that just makes complete sense, considering they sent me the Mate 40 and this is the Mate 10. You know what, just agree with it. Just agree with it at this point in time. I hope you enjoyed this video for what it was anyways. I'm very, very sorry that I sound absolutely, completely dead. I just really wanted to make a video because I decided to take a few days off, obviously, to rest and get my stuff together. It's been sitting there since the last review, and I thought, oh, I really want to check it out. And then the i14 Pro Max thing arrived. I just had all this stuff to do, and I thought, stuff it. You know what? I'm just going to push through it. I'm going to battle through it. I'm going to film, do what I got to do, because I love doing this stuff. And no matter how sick I feel, I love to do this and share this stuff with you folks. So I hope you've been able to tolerate me sounding like this throughout the whole entire video. But if you couldn't tolerate me and had to use the timestamps, that's completely fine. I 100% agree with you. Also, I've been taking a lot of cold and flu tablets, which has probably affected my decision making ever so slightly. So that could also be a contributing factor to everything. I think I'm rambling nonsense now at this point in time. But anyways, if you made it this far without using the timestamps, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Very basic phone, but hey, it's XGODY. Just being XGODY and welcome, not being welcome because it wasn't really welcome doing welcome stuff. God, I'm not making any sense. I should shut up now. A couple of weeks left of this year and we're done with 2022, so I'm going to try and do as much as I can, and hopefully I feel better in the next couple of days and I'll actually have my normal voice back instead of this nasally, deep sort of weirdo one. Stay tuned because yeah, I do have the i14 Pro Max. Do you want to see a preview of it? We got it, folks. Here is the i14 Pro Max. finally, after 3 tries, I have it in front of me. You're not going to see the dynamic island until the video, so keep your eye out for this one. I hope to release the video on this in about a week's time. Otherwise, everyone, thanks a bunch for watching. I really do appreciate it. I guess thanks for the understanding of not seeing a midweek video due to me being absolutely dead sick, but it's all good in the end. I've at least produced something to show you all, and now I believe I should go sleep or stop rambling, because I'm going to get people in the comments saying, you rambled for like 10 minutes at the end because you're sick. I know. I've been sick and I haven't had anyone to speak to. What am I supposed to do? Alright, I'll shut up now. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, be good people. That's the wrong order. See what I mean? Cold and flu tablets have just affected my decision making. Please take care. Stay safe. Be good people. I'll see you all in the next video, which will be something or other. I don't really know. Why am I slamming my fists on the desk? I've got no idea. I probably just need to sleep and just not do this sort of stuff. This is the most chaotic outro that I've ever done before, and I've still got mayhem to clean up and everything like that. Do you want to see something cool? Here's a light switch that flicks on and off. That's really fun. Don't be like me, please. If you're sick, just stay in bed and relax. Don't do this. That's another top quality video by me. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave. I will leave this for tomorrow, okay? Would you like to come with me? Maybe we should go get lunch together. Tell you what. I don't know what to tell you what, because I actually don't know what I'm talking about. Imagine the whole entire video. I'm just like, hey guys, welcome to another video. In tonight's video, I'm going to be looking at this calculator. What's the calculator here? What a good thing. Today we have looked at the XGODY device, something that is far more beyond this world. People have wondered to themselves about the XGODY brand and how much it can offer for the environment. However, there are many differences between welcome devices and XGODY devices that you should know about. That's the one good thing with having a cold, is that your voice can sound like that and you can sound kind of cool. Your voice can just go into this really deep mode, and you sound really professional and movie trailer experience. And there are pros and cons of having the flu. You get to sound like that. Pro. Con, you feel like shit and don't want to do anything. Pro, you get to eat a lot of cool stuff because you're sick. Con, you gain weight. This is indeed a disturbing universe. Maybe I should have a permanent cold so then I sound like that. I just use that voice for every single video. Greetings everybody, and welcome back to another s'mores video. In today's one, I want to be taking a look at the XGODY Mate10. This device was released back in 2021 and is in pieces on my desk at the moment because I've just taken it apart. So, I'm going to be reassembling it first, and then we'll do the review, because in that way everybody will be satisfied with what I'm doing. I really should shut up. You just stuck around for a really long outro, didn't you? You did. I'm sorry. I'll write you a refund. Hang on. Let me give you a refund. There you go. There you go. Refund of internet dollars. There you go. So that's your refund for internet dollars, and this is for time wasting, okay? Because you don't have the 45 minutes that this video went for. I'm giving you your refund now. That's, you know what, this is going to be in my videos from now on about the timestamps. If you don't like the length of my videos, here is your internet refund of 45 minutes for your time, okay? Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, then, well, it's a refund. You can't say no to a refund, can you? Take it. Take it. Take it. Do you want to take it? If you don't want to take it, well, then fine. Don't come around here again, you hooligan. I know your face. Just think, I offered you a refund. You didn't take it. That was the most dumbest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Oh, cold and flu tablets make me fucking stupid. The wonders of codeine, paracetamol, and all the other good flavors inside cold and flu tablets. Wow, what an experience. I should do this more often. Hey, anyone who's got a cold, please, feel free to give it to me. S'mores is more exciting when he has a cold. He does stupid shit like this. Oh god, that can't go over there. There we go. Alright, I'm legit gonna go now, because the camera's almost dead. Get the camera, Mum. No, the camera's almost dead, kid. Oh, shit. Oh, hang on. Wait, the battery's charging in that. That battery wasn't charging before. Oh, God. I'm gonna die.
If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.